This may be my favorite chapter in the arc thus far, and for what it was lacking in action, it more than made up for in the feelings that came out and the teamwork that we saw. One Piece, Chapter 419, Legend of a Hero. Oh man, what a way to end the volume, I tell ya. Well, hello my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and action-packed, heartfelt, tear-jerking tale of One Piece. Now, our last chapter, of course, saw us with really the fight between Lucci and Luffy kind of heating up as Luffy went into his gear second, or second gear, whatever you'd like to call it. And, of course, Lucci went and turned into his, like, crazed sort of leopard form, or whatever that is, some kind of crazy tiger, maybe, I don't know. And really the chapter ended off with those two just kind of, you know, clashing, and certainly Luffy telling Frankie to go on ahead and please to save Robin. Now, remember, Frankie has two of the keys. And then, of course, the other two keys are possessed by, by Zoro and of course Sanji. So, and we know that the fifth key that there was is the one that actually had the handcuffs. That was for the handcuffs that Sniper King and Zoro were attached to. So anyway, that's how the chapter left off, though, and actually that's right where the chapter picks up. First of all, we wind up seeing the gates of justice are open, like all the way. And this is a big deal because nobody's ever seen the gates of justice open all the way. And they're like, oh my god, it's because, you know, it's to let the naval warships through, right, for this buster call. Because we know that Spandam is a turd burglar, and that's what he's done. He's basically destined everybody on this island, condemn them all to death, just in the hopes that he can further his career. Anyway, all that aside, it's a really cool sight to behold, just seeing Water 7 drawn with, certainly with the gates of justice opened up. There we go. Let's see if we can get that up in the screenshot over there. I thought it was really cool just because of the way that it looks and how big and imposing, several hundred feet tall that these gates are and what have you. But anyway, we wind up seeing a brief check-in with the fight between Lucci and obviously Luffy. And Lucci's like, oh yeah, Frankie got past whatever. And Lucci even says, he goes, I underestimated your power. I had no idea that basically I didn't know that you could go next level like this, right? He goes, but it looks like you're breathing awfully hard. Is that because of all the steam and this and that? And then Luffy's like, don't worry about me. All I need to do is beat you. So we know that that's kind of how that's left off, man. Luffy's just got that look of determination in his eye, right? And the rest of the chapter goes and plays out where we see Frankie, of course, he's running, trying to go and catch up. He's running up the stairs now that he's gotten past, certainly where Luffy and Lucci are fighting in that rotunda. And he's trying to get up there and then, of course, get across the bridge and everything else. So we then go and we're taken to Spandam and Nico Robin. He's still dragging her, kicking and screaming, basically. She tried chomping on to buy some time to the edge of the bridge or whatever before. As this bridge, it has been lowered. On the other side of it, we see a side view, and on the other side of it, it ends, and where the water is, there's actually a naval ship waiting for, like, it's obviously to escort them across through the gates of justice and everything else. So, and then, of course, there's this little archway. Anyways, all these different soldiers come out, and they're standing there saluting and getting ready, and he's going and dragging her, kicking and screaming down the, down the bridge. And the whole time he's going and he's just making fun of her and talking to her about how, going to wipe out the demons of Ohara and this and that and everything else. And then he starts going and bringing stuff up about that traitor giant Saul that he had to kill, Jaguar D. Saul, that was killed 20 years ago on Ohara, and everything else. And, she's starting to, and she's getting more and more angered because now she's realizing, and it eventually comes out, that it was his father, Spandine, that was the one who killed everybody and gave the order on Ohara, and she's going and having flashbacks and seeing him, and of course, just the order to make sure that she didn't get on the evacuation ship, and it was blown up anyway, but regardless, she winds up going through this series of emotions, and as she's bloodied and beaten, and it really bothers me for some reason I don't like seeing the female characters as kind of beat up and bloody and whatnot, and I don't know if it's just because I kind of have that Sanji philosophy where I don't look down on women at all. I was always taught when I was a kid not to hit them, not to strike them, that sort of thing. So that's just me. That's just, again, personal. Some people will be like, hey man, I don't care. I got to get to where I got to get to. I'll smack a bitch, I don't. That's just something that I don't do. But anyway, so I guess when I see the female characters, Robin or Nami or whatever, just kind of beaten and bloodied, and just like he's dragging her across the ground, and there's literally like a blood trail that's coming from her like face and body and everything else, And then on top of it, Robin's just drop dead gorgeous, so it's like, oh man, he's just dragging this hot supermodel like through the mud. But anyway, as he's doing this, man, you know, the emotions that are just coming out of me, I'm just fucking thinking, I want to kill you, right? And then he goes and he tells her, he says, you know, and she keeps on saying, no, I'm holding out. They're coming for me. They're going to save me. And he's like, nobody's coming for you. And if anybody even tries, there's a landmine that's placed at the stairs, you know, at the top of the stairs that we just came up. And I armed it as we came up. So if anybody does happen to make it through and try to get there, they'll be blown up, as will be the stairs, right? So you're like, okay, fuck, you know. Now we know that Zoro and Sanji and everybody should be on their way. Usopp disappeared a while ago to go and help. But we know that Frankie's the closest one, right? So as they're walking along, and then we've got all the people saluting and getting ready to, you know, allow, you know, Spandam, the director of CP9, to come through with his dangerous pirate criminal. As they're getting closer and closer, all of a sudden, there's this big explosion. And what the fuck? And we see Frankie just flying off and just he got blown up, man. He looks like he's on fire and not good. And he's like, Cutty Flam, how did you make it through? What are you doing? No matter, you're dead anyway. Ha ha ha. And he starts laughing about it, right? So I'm thinking, son of a bitch. He's dragging Robin. He's just about there. He actually tells them, he goes, get the ship going. I'll jump on. Don't worry about it, you know, because obviously there's some preparation you have to do to cast off and everything like that, you know. It's not like these things are powered with, like, you know, twin, you know, outboard diesel engines or whatever. But anyway, so he's telling them to get going, and they're getting closer and closer to the edge of this bridge, right? And I'm thinking, oh man, right? And then all of a sudden, right out of nowhere, and it looks like all hope is lost. Robin's sitting there, her head's been kind of smashed against the ground again over here. She's laying here, she's got nothing left, she's crying, she's upset, you know. And I love this because when there's the page before, she goes and she yells, and she's like, I'm still alive! And he's like, yeah, but you're going to die! And all this transpires and happens, and he's getting right to the edge of everything with Robin over there. And you go and your heart's sinking, and you're feeling like, oh man, I just got kicked in the balls. You know, you get that bad feeling in your stomach, you know. And for those of you that don't have balls, I don't know, maybe getting punched in the tit, whatever it is that hurts you very bad. All I can equate it to is getting kicked in the balls. And I'm sitting there in my gut, man. I'm thinking, man, I'm reading this. And then all of a sudden, right out of nowhere, boom! Spandam goes and just gets nailed in a blaze of glory, just gets his shit rocked, and he's on fire, and there's fucking smoke coming out of him, and he boom, and he just fires it back, right, into the troops and everything else. You see teeth getting knocked out and everything else, and then you go and you see Robin, and Robin's actually got like a look of like, what the hell is going on there, right? And then this has got to be the best, man. So they don't know where the attack came from. What the hell? Where'd the attack come from? We can't find him. Director, you know, he's trying to direct people and this and that. And guys are getting picked off. And this guy's getting picked off. And they're all getting picked off, right? And I'm thinking, what the hell? And Robin's sitting there and she's like, okay, she's now like, what's going on, you know? And then we get the, hey, what are you doing, you lot? Arrest him. But director, we can't locate the enemy, right? And different guys are getting taken out, you know? And Robin's going, and slowly she's realizing, like, oh man, the cavalry has arrived, right? And then all of a sudden you see the little silhouette, and you go, is that it? Could that be? Could that be Sniper King? Could it be? Do I want to hear the song? I do. I want to hear the song. I want to sing the song. And then all of a sudden we get, who is that? And it's just so beautifully drawn. It's this shot from underneath to make him look like large and imposing, and like the light of the sun is shining off, and he's got and he's over here, right? And we're like, what the hell? Where is this guy, you know? And they're just like, whoa, from that distance in this wind, how can he shoot so accurately? I love that stuff, man. Who is that masked man? And he's over here, he's singing and shit, you know? He's from Sniper Island. And I'm like, oh my God, this is great, you know? So he's nailing people, and he's on top of the Tower of Law, right? So he's a good few hundred yards away. These guys are, and Spandam's like, shoot him. They're like, director, we'll try, but our bullets can't even reach him, right? Their bullets, their actual, like, gunpowder-fired muskets, whatever they have, the bullets can't even reach there. But Sniper King is going and picking dudes off with exploding stars and shit. 100% accuracy from fucking, I don't know, quarter mile out, a half mile out. I don't know. All I know is this dude needs to be on the elite sniper team for the U.S. Armed Forces, because this motherfucker is going to hit them. Oh, love it. Oh my God. Okay, I'm getting a little worked up there. So Robin gets up and and I love this too. And then we got Sanji. Look at our sharpshooter. Isn't he awesome? Take that, you jerks. Run, Robin. And we get Zara. He's like, does he have to sing? So, anyway, as things go on, we get, so the bullets won't reach, blah, blah. No, Robin's getting away. Don't let her escape. Shoot, fools. I want her alive, but shoot to kill. Shoot, fools. I want her alive, but shoot to kill. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. That's like, go left, but go right too. I can't do both, bro. I can't shoot to kill, but then also save her life, right? And not kill her, you know? But he's a turd burglar of the highest magnitude, and just there's not much he can do. So as they go and start to fire, all of a sudden, who jumps in front but our boy Frankie, right? And he jumps in front to take some bullets. And he's just like, you know, and then what the hell? You know, thinking, oh, I'm strong because I'm made of steel. A landmine won't work, Spanda. Oh, God, I just love this. And then I love this, and he talks to Frankie through the transponder snail. Sniper King goes, Frankie, can you hear me, Frankie? This is Sniper King. Huh? A transponder snail? How do you... I got it from Nami. There should be a bundle of red cloth there somewhere. Yeah, found it. Inside are 2 keys. Add them to yours, and you'll have them all. And then Spandam shitting bricks, man. All the keys? I love this shit. Special delivery. Roger that. We should hurry. This doesn't look good. You know, because we got obviously Zoro and Sanji that are on there. But the best part about it is that during this whole thing, he was able to not only just take out guys left and right, take out Spandam first and knock him the fuck back, but then he's able to go and deliver the 2 keys from Zoro and Sanji as well. So now Frankie obviously stood in front as this impenetrable or impervious shield or whatever to help, you know, guard Robin's retreat, right? Luffy's all tangled up with Lucci. We know that's happening. We got Zoro, Sanji, and of course, Sniper King over there by the Tower of Law. But Sniper King is popping dudes left and right. And now we got, of course, Robin's actually able to retreat, but Frankie's got all 4 keys. So all it is a matter of getting one of those things in there. And now Robin's free, and even though she's been beaten and battered and bloody, boy, I think she's going to have a score to settle with Spandam. And not just that, we're actually going to get to see her use some of her powers as well, I'm hoping. So, man, was this good. And that's how the freaking volume ends off. How can you do that to me? Thank God I have another one and several after that. But if I didn't, oh, man, I'd be pissed right now. I'd be running down to the store like, yes, I need volume number 44 of the One Piece, please. And people are looking at me like, what's a One Piece? You know, what is that? You know, no, it's a manga. It's a very popular manga in Japan and over here in the States as well. But I need number 44 because, oh, man. So anyway, I got to let everybody go here because I got to get into the next one. My chapter question for you, though, brothers and sisters, is what were your thoughts on this whole build-up in this chapter and this build-up to ultimately... Because it was like devastating blow after devastating blow, and it really looked like just this terrible impending doom, right? And you had to feel that sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach. You had to feel it, right? And then you go, and if you didn't, I don't know what to tell you, but that's what I felt, right? And then all of a sudden, man, when all hope is lost, you know, boom! Spandam just gets taken out. Dudes are dropping left and right. And we got Sniper King from like a half a mile out taking people out. And then you got Frankie, impervious wall, blocking bullets and shit. You got Zoro and... Oh, man, so beautiful. Let me know what your thoughts were, though, on just the whole buildup of the chapter, because the chapter, for the majority of it, was just this downtrodden down note. It was him going and Spandam telling everything to Robin, and, you know, that his father did this and was responsible for this, and obviously just bringing up all those memories about O'Hara and her as a child, and making fun of her, and I bet you it was hard to go and be on the run and have that bounty that my father put on your head, you know, because he knew you were bad, and scraping around for food and this and that, you know, and he basically is just going and pouring salt in the open wound, right? And he does all this stuff, you know, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, boom, how it just turns, man, and how Oda just goes and takes that feeling of sorrow and despair, right, and turns it into just fucking joy and happiness and excitement, and now it's just like, I just want to go out and just rip something apart, you know? Oh my goodness, so let me know what your answer to that question is in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nation. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter and subscribe to my other channels as well.